Hey everyone, so today we're in a VR game known as Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, H3VR for short. And today what I want to do is discuss the history of the 1911. So if you guys have never played VR before, this is one of the most popular VR shooting games that you can get on PC. And the main reason for that is it's basically a gun museum in VR. So you can spawn countless pistols, rifles, shotguns, pretty much anything you can imagine from any world war, conflict, manufacturer, pretty much everything. One of my favorite pistols is the 1911, and they have a ridiculous amount of them. So I want to discuss the differences between them and kind of where they started, where they're at. So starting off, this is the original Colt 1911. This was the original model built in, 1911, as you guessed. No bells and whistles, the default model. But like every 1911, has a grip safety right here. The original 1911's grip safety was actually shorter, which caused a lot of discomfort, which we'll get to on the new ones. Of course, slide lock is right there, hammer is right there, magazine release. So I'm going to give this a shot. So that's the standard Colt 1911 right there. Moving on to the 1911A1, which was the updated version introduced in 1924. And this addressed the issue with the very short grip safety. So you can see these have a longer grip safety. Some refer to as a beaver tail because it sticks out past the body of the gun. That makes it to where the hammer doesn't bite you as often, so you don't get hit by the moving parts of your pistol, which obviously would be very uncomfortable. So this right here in the game is listed as the 1911A1 Modern because it has a more modern finish and has, the OD green grips. So we'll give that a shot. It also has glow sights on it as well. Super nice. Both of these pistols right here next to it are actually the same gun, just in different finishes. So right here, this is known as the A1 Classic, which kind of follows more of the standard 1911 color scheme. Still the same elongated grip safety, but it has wooden grips and a silvered finish instead of the OD green grips. Still has the glow sights though. So there's that one right there. And then we have the very ostentatious, very flashy black and gold finish. So black grips, black grip safety, black trigger, gold, everything else. Actually looks really, really good in VR. Super sick. So there's that one. Moving on to the more modern interpretation of the 1911. These in game are listed as the 1911, I believe, Operator, because they have the bottom rail, optic mount, the larger magazine size, and a lot of other modifications. You have the heightened front sights. You have a more competition-style grip safety, competition-style safety, and you have a competition-style hammer, which is the hollowed-out back. Then competition trigger, the drilled holes out right here. Line that up. Very nice. And then you have pretty much same pistol, same parts, competition-style trigger, grip safety, hammer. This one has faux antler grips, and I believe, slightly different sight. And also this one has porting in the slide to help some recoil a little bit. Of course, in a video game, it's not that important, but so those are the modern pistols. And when I said that H3VR is a gun museum, I really meant it. So this right here is the experimental 1911 aluminum stamped prototype from the end of World War II. So very few games have this because it's extremely obscure, but H3 is as close as you can get to an at-home firearms museum. So the weird stuff shows up here all the time, and I love this game for that. Story on these, as far as I'm aware, for my limited research, is that after World War II, the U.S. wanted a much lighter pistol because the full steel frames of the 1911 Classic, they're heavy. I mean, even today, these are all heavy pistols, which is one of the selling points of them. But the Germans had stamped metal pistols, which were a lot lighter and a lot cheaper to produce. So Colt America tried to experiment with the 1911 stamped. Obviously didn't stick. Kind of thankful it didn't. It's kind of a hideous pistol. It actually kind of looks like a Lego gun. And I imagine it wasn't very comfortable to fire, considering it has no rubber grips or anything like that. irons are very shabbily slapped on, but that's why it's an experimental pistol. Fun enough, if you notice, this is the only model of 1911 that does not lock to the rear when it's empty, which was either a cost-saving measure or, just because it was a prototype. So that was the whole suite of 1911s that H3VR has to offer, starting with the standard 1911, the A1, and the Operator series, and then this cursed little prototype one. Yeah, what I want to do, because H3VR has a bunch of guns. It's not only 1911s, it's a lot. If this is stuff that you guys are interested in, it's something I'm very passionate about. I'd love to talk about more of the history of these guns, because some of the stuff is super interesting. And this game allows you to see the full progression of a weapon system. So starting off with 1911, 1924, 1980s and onwards, probably actually later than that, like 2010 onwards. So yeah, let me know if it's something you guys are interested in. I'd love to make more of these. Talk to you later.